Praise the tools. What's happening, everybody? We're here to take some sermon going peoples out of ya. What's up? Thanks for coming to hang out with me, Rustbelt Mechanic, and the Captain Ron. Racha.
Brother Rustbelt.
Brother. What we've got in store for you guys tonight. We've got some tools. Hallelujah. Can I get a hallelujah?
Amen.
We're going to be talking about some tools, scan tools. We want to bring up some shop practices, some stuff that's going on in our shop this last week. Just some fun stuff going on for that.
And then we're going to lay some hands on you.
No, no touchy-touchies.
Touchy.
No. Not that kind of a sermon. Everybody's going crazy for this one. How many people we got in here? 30 people are going for this one. Oh, yeah.
What's up,
Chris?
everybody?
What's happening, guys? Yoda in the house.
Why the preacher got to have nice tools? Why the preacher got to have a nice toolbox? Don't worry about it.
Just don't worry about it. You guys are awesome. I'm glad you guys have fun with this kind of stuff. Because if you didn't, you know, it would just be kind of awkward. And, you know, it'd just be kind of weird.
We'd probably be kicked off YouTube.
We probably would get kicked off YouTube. So I guess I'd apologize for that one. Sandusky, Ohio. There we go. What's up, guys?
What's up, man?
Turn this stuff on silent so you don't mess up the sermon. My bad. My bad.
Yeah, you're supposed to have your phones on silent before church starts.
I know. It happens. So, we dropped the video today on the new scan tool that I've been reviewing for the last couple of months. Let's get some review and some feedback on what everybody thought about that one. I know that normally I would do a lot of scan tool reviews on scanners, tools that are more, you know, DIY. The guy that's single in the shop, he's, you know, stuff that he can afford in that sense. So this was probably the most expensive tool that I'll have as of yet done reviews on or been able to show people. It's something that's more for the shop owners, the guys who are doing stuff on their own, some bigger jobs, that kind of stuff. I know it's not for everybody, but I thought it was like a really good deal, especially if you're in the market for getting a scan tool that had intelligent diagnostics, things to being able to look up the service procedures if you got to pay for that in your shop already anyways. Everything already all integrated into it. So that was really nice to see that one, because if you're looking at different scan tools in the market right now between Mac tools, between the Snapon, something along the lines of like a Modus Edge, something more than that even, then you're talking that you're going to be in the $6,000 to $7,000 range. So I thought that this one was a really good deal for what it did at like a $3,700 range. It was functional. It was a little bit slower than what the Snapon, what their software actually did. So in that respect, yeah, it was a little bit slower, but it did all the same exact functions as my Snap-on scan tool said. But I just thought it was something cool. So if you guys had other inputs on that, just let me know. What are you doing?
Sorry. Don't worry about what I'm doing.
Well, I got to see the chat. You're supposed to be reading.
I am reading. They want to know what the good book says today. I say we should have got the owner's manual out of a Chrysler vehicle.
I have some old ones, like an old
Everybody
Chrysler.
turn to page
an old
137 of your
an old Plymouth Sundance. That'd have been some funny stuff.
The good word says, torque your bolts to 50 foot-pounds, and then turn off the ignition. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. I don't know.
Oh, that's some good stuff. Monster Energy Drink still needs to sponsor us.
I already drank my Monster for today. I got orange water.
Oh, wah, wah. You watching your girlish figure?
Trying to.
Slimish down?
Trying to. We got vacation coming up, man.
You're working on that beach bod?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta round off the corners of the dad bod.
So in other news, we've We've got some more stuff in for the Toolheads crates, as you can see here in the background. We've been getting some boxes. We've got our pallets of boxes in. We've got other content that's already being shipped in. Should be in this week, and we're going to be actually starting to assemble some of those and putting our final orders in for the products that are going to go into the Toolheads crate this week as well. We're going to be putting those in and starting to assemble those. For the guys who have been kind of holding off, waiting to see, getting your tax checks or whatever to be able to sign up for what you wanted to, you got to remember to make sure you get signed up by the 9th. If you're not signed up by March 9th, you're going to be put onto the following month's subscription. So you're not going to be one of the OG Toolheads. I guarantee you guys, in the first subscription crate, we've got some really cool stuff coming in there. The crate is going to be jam-packed. It's going to be well worth the $35.99.
Yep.
I think we added it up, and in retail value, you've got well over $70.
Something like that.
$65 or $70 in retail value of the stuff that's going to be inside of the crate. So it's going to be something really cool for you guys. It's going to be awesome.
Not to mention that golden wrench.
That golden wrench, though.
Yep.
You got a chance to run that one.
Win yourself a Milwaukee 3/8 inch impact stubby.
What's up, Toolbox Footage? Good to see you guys in here. George Allen. Decide.
Get our maths.
Mm-hmm. No, we're not singing a hymn. We can't do that one.
You don't want us doing that again. We might get kicked off YouTube.
Yeah, that wouldn't go so swell. So yeah, we've got that stuff getting ready to roll out here in the next week or so.
Chris, there is an option to buy just one time. Keep in mind that whenever you guys sign up for the Toolheads crate, it is, unless you tell it not to be, a monthly recurring crate. So if you sign up, it will charge you for the crate. But if you say you just want to do it for 1 month, you would have to go in and tell it to not auto-renew, essentially. So, granted, I mean, we want you to keep getting the crates, because there's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming down the road. But if you just want one, you can do just one, but you'll have to manually yourself go in and have it not auto-renew.
Correct. That and the first crate will be, the cutoff date for the first one is the 9th. They are shipping out March the 15th.
Yep.
It's a Friday. They're all going out in the mail. Schedule it to go out March the 15th. So depending on where you live in the country or outside of the U.S., if you're in Canada or Australia, which we haven't gotten any Australian orders yet.
We have not got any Australian orders. We have got one that's quote-unquote from Canada.
Yep, pretty much. But yeah, we do offer that. Make sure you guys remember that if you're from Canada or from Australia, that one is going to be offered for you guys as well.
And if you're anywhere else that you guys, that we haven't mentioned, because basically we had interest from Canada, we had interest from Australia, definitely had interest from people in the United States. But if you're somewhere else, just shoot us an email, toolheadscrate@gmail.com, and we will see what we can do about getting shipping to your local area.
Working to Relax says he did finally buy his Duralast rotors and pads for his truck. He's got a Duramax as well that they use. You're happy with those. That's good, because I love my Duralast, the Max pads for those. Those are really nice ones that I ended up putting on mine, and I haven't had a bit of issues. The brake dust is very minimal on those. They turned out really nice. What kind of TPMS options were on the scanner that did a review? The TPMS relearns, they are all in there just like a standard scan tool. Now, it's not going to have the activation that, you have your TPMS tool monitors that actually put out a magnetic signal to actuate the TPMS monitor for going into learn mode. It's not going to have that one. You'll still have to have a dedicated TPMS tool for that. But if you have like the IDs to manually put them into the tire pressure monitoring system, or to do resets on the TPMS system like in the BMWs and Minis, it does have the capability of doing that, just like any other of the higher dollar scan tools that are out today.
What's up, 410?
410's in the house. What's up, buddy?
How's that 10mm set working out for you?
Them 10mm though. All kinds of 10s around the house.
What's up, Warren?
Oh, I know mine's better. I love my Duramax. I've actually had more people checking that out and have had more of the snap neck effect this week on just driving my truck around than Yep, we get that all the time when driving the Duramax around town. You got to keep in mind, we live in this little podunk Rust Belt town in BFE, Ohio, so people, they don't see trucks that are like this all the time, or hardly ever at all. So when they see those things, it's just like, you know, somebody's scaring the white out of their eyes.
Yeah. Toolbox, that is going to be the ship date for the first box. The cutoff date is going to be the 9th of March.
Warren liked the scanner review this morning. Thanks, man.
Cool.
It was really nice. I enjoyed doing that one, especially for the Top Don guys. We're going to have a hint. We're probably going to be doing some more stuff with Top Don USA and some of their things in the future on the channel and possibly the Toolheads crate as well. So keep some interest up in that one. They've got some really cool stuff being able to come out for us to look into.
Ryan, that 10mm set that 410 got, you can pick that up at your local AutoZone.
10mm 10-piece set.
Yes. 3/8 1/4" magnetic swivels. It's a nice set.
Straight Six fan in the house. He's another guy who came over from Old Car Auto Guy Review, who I gave the shout out to this last week. Him and Old Car Guy, they do a kind of a conglomeration, you know, together and doing
like what we do?
Yeah, kind of, but from a distance. You're out, what, in like Kansas, something like that? He's doing some really cool stuff on some older things, building a center console for an old Mustang and some other cool things that he's been building in his channel lately.
Hey.
I've been enjoying that one.
Hey, look who's here.
Aiden?
Aiden.
Aiden's here.
Aiden, we got something to talk about with you, man.
For reals, we did kind of open up shipping for Toolheads to Australia for Aiden to enjoy our Toolheads crate.
Wait a minute. Let me check something. Nope, it's not there yet. What's up, man?
Not calling you out or anything, but we figured you'd enjoy that one. You know, we haven't heard from you in a while. You know, we love listening to you. For Aiden.
For Aiden.
Well, I guess we're going to get in. One of the first things that I'd like to talk to you guys about tonight is when you go on to the tool truck, there's always some kind of promotional deals, promotional offers. Then you know that Snapon already has the leg up. They got your thumb on you and want to offer you really cool deals.
You just basically go on the truck and say, "Take my money."
Yeah, pretty much.
Take my money. Here's my wallet.
Yeah, so they have all these different offers for you on the table. And then to incentivize you even more, they have these promotional products that come out as well. So this last week, I had one of my fans, which it was Eric. I'm going to totally butcher the last name. Pyachowski, something like that. He was cool enough to send me some of the outward Snap-on promotional items that I had been missing. I love my Snap-on tools, and I like a lot of their promotional items as well. So some of the things that I didn't have that he sent to me was that Snap-on knife set.
These are mine, by the way, now.
Back it up.
No.
My name was on the box, yo.
Dude, how often do you cook in this house?
Does it matter?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
So, Snap-on kitchen knife set. These things are legit.
They are fucking awesome, is what they are.
Very awesome set of knives.
So I've seen these on the truck for I don't know how, probably as long as they've had them on there. It's like what? They were like $100 and some odd dollars for the set.
Yeah.
They were way overpriced. And he ended up getting them from Eric, and I was like, what?
I know.
And then I was like, oh, I've been wanting these for so long.
Right, so these are some of the things that you get on the truck. So we got the knife set. He got me some of the Snap-on, the wood coasters.
Chris, I do live here. Literally live here.
Literally.
Yes, literally.
Literally. We got those. He got us the Instinct grip handle bottle opener. that's also magnetic, which these are stainless steel, so obviously it's not going to stick to those.
Here, wait, use this. Use this.
What? He's not even in here.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, there he is.
Look, we can use this. Watch. It works.
JRC showing up. What's up, buddy? That quarter inch drive socket, it does magnet to that one. So they have things like that. You know, there's all kinds of different promotional items that they have. Right now they've got the Snap-on Dream Drive going on, where if you order so many things or you pay so much money on the truck, it's to the tool truck owner's discretion that they'll give you tickets out for possibly getting into a drawing and winning a Snap-on Epic popcorn machine, a Snap-on Epic Series fridge, and then also if you get far enough into it, the grand prizes are going to be I believe it was like a $10,000, $9,000 or $10,000 toolbox filled with tools for you, and then the grand prize was $30,000 worth of bidding for a
I'm on it. I'm on it.
Okay, make sure.
What?
There was people waiting in your Premiere because OBS does a completely separate live stream. So
Seriously?
So
it
there
didn't
were
connect to that?
So no, it did not connect up to that. So I went over there and told them to come over here, and so did JRC. So
Okay. Fail on the
yeah,
live stream.
sorry about that. Those of you who are waiting in an empty room, that's our fault. My bad.
It's his fault.
Actually, it's his fault. He didn't tell me he was doing a premiere. Yeah, legit.
40 minutes ago, I told you. Hey, did you see what I put on there?
It's not like I can test it.
It's a learning curve, guys. We've got this down.
Whatever.
We're professionals. Don't worry about
I stayed at Holiday Inn once.
it. But anyways, back to on topic. So Snap-on and other tool trucks, they give you all these promotional deals. So how much does that come into effect when you're actually making tool purchases? I know there's been some times when I get on the tool truck and, you know, when you're on the fence, you're like, do I really want to spend the money on that? Do I want to spend a little bit more to be able to get this thing? I really don't feel like it, but if I get you this jacket or this shirt or this hat this week, would you buy it then?
So legit, just out of curiosity, how much would you have spent if he said, you spend so much, I will give you that popcorn maker?
I've already have. What do you think I've spent to get all those tickets?
No, I'm saying like if
I already have.
If he would have gave you that, you didn't win the popcorn maker.
I know. I just spent that much just on chances to get it.
Yeah, but if he said you have to spend like
What's up, old car auto guy?
$20,000 to get a popcorn maker, would you?
$20,000? No. No. Definitely.
$10,000.
Definitely not that. No.
$5,000.
I mean, I spent like $500. Probably worth it tools to get that.
It's probably that much.
Right around there.
I wonder if those are on eBay yet.
No. The popcorn makers are.
You already looked.
I'm bidding. Currently, I'm bidding on one of the Epic Series fridges, though. I was bidding on one of those. Don't even get on there and start that shit.
I'm looking.
Not even.
Looking right now.
Nerds these days.
Looking.
But anyways, when you guys get onto the tool truck and you see these promotional deals, does that come into thought when you're purchasing tools? Will you purposely purchase some tools just to be able to get some of the promotional things? I know I do from time to time. You're supposed to be reading chat.
eBay doesn't have any popcorn makers.
I told you that.
Snap-on. Justin wanted a bicycle once.
You want a bicycle?
Built for two.
JRC, he would do that. Go on there, find the fridge, and outbid me. I know that one. I already got outbid earlier, actually.
And this comes from the same guy who's got 3 freaking monitors put up.
Mm-hmm. That one-upper. Seems useless unless something I really need at the time. What do you think would be a good price on a used Snap-on Solus Edge with new software? My Snap-on guy has one of these. Just got in and thinking about getting it. How old are you talking about of the Solus Edge? I know they came out a couple of years ago for that, but I guess if it's got the newest software, that's pretty good. The Solus is the lower line of the Snap-on scan tools, so I mean used. depending on what warranty they were going to give you on that one, man, I probably wouldn't pay any more than $1,500 for it, just because I'm, cheap like that. I know they go for like $2-3 grand, but I don't think I'd spend any more than $1,000 to $1,500 on a scan tool like that if that was something that I needed or wanted for that amount. So you won the Maxxis Snap-on truck? I've been wanting to win one of those Maxxis trucks for like 3 years now. I'm pretty sure they've been on promo for 3 years now.
Wait, what's the
I've even got to the point where where they had a lot of people selling them locally, and I've bid on like 4 of them, and they all got to the point where it was like $600-700, and I'm just like, I can't do it. I just after that $500 threshold, and somebody had taken it out and ripped on it a couple of times, I couldn't do it.
Toolbox footage says he's got shats. He's got shats. He's got hats, shirts, and glasses from Snap-on, but a few years ago he won a cooler that looks like a tool cart.
Yeah,
we got
a
cooler that looks like
that cool tool cart cooler is really cool. I've seen those.
But we've got a cooler that looks like a Snap-on truck.
Yeah, the drivable Snap-on cooler.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Locally for $200 on Craigslist. Man, those X-Max trucks, they are, even without the Snap-on on them, if you get one of those X-Max trucks, those things, they're like $1,000. They are like legit 60-mile-an-hour off-road beasts.
Yeah.
They're pretty sweet.
Warren asked if we need a fridge to store all that Angry Orchard.
No, we got multiple fridges. We got plenty of fridge room. Yep.
What's up, neighbor?
The only Snap-on thing I got for free is a ratcheting screwdriver. I had to spend $1 grand to get that.
You'll have that.
Maybe is that just horrendous?
Ooh,
up in Canada, offering them crappy stuff to you guys. It's a toolbox shape, but it's a gas grill.
We need that.
You've never seen that?
No, we need that.
It's pretty cheap, actually, from what I've seen. I've seen one before. The steel on it's really thin on it.
We need a new grill regardless, so.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks, Steve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would beat the shit out of that car, too. I'd be ripping that thing through the shop. Can you imagine if we got one of those little X-Maxes? You know what I would do? I would put some of those nylon plastic wheels on it, and I would make that thing a freaking little drift car, and I would drift that thing all over the shop.
No, you know what we would do with it?
No, that's what I do.
One of us would end up driving it. The other one would end up getting the drone out, pinpointing where the car is, and having the drone follow the car.
We could make a crazy video on that one. Just like a drone chase scene with the X-Max truck drifting around corners.
Yeah.
That drone does shoot 4K. That'd be a pretty badass video.
Yeah.
We need to get us one of those X-Max trucks. Yeah, or a Snap-on drift truck.
Can we just soup up the cooler?
No, we gotta. You've seen those little drift RC cars online, right?
Yeah, I've seen
them. Get one of the Snap-on truck covers for it. You imagine a little drift Snap-on truck. I would totally rock that.
We'd have to make a video of it.
That seems pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gas grills here either get used way too much and they burn out, or as of last year, someone cooks on it and then doesn't clean it afterwards. Not me, not him, but another friend of ours. We left on vacation to go last year, and he cooked a big 10-pound roll of hamburger into patties, and then we forgot about it for a week. I came home, we're getting ready to fire it up to cook something. The next thing I know, we hear hissing as it melted through the airline from the compressor. So yeah, bad times there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was some shitty stuff, but it happens.
It's like the first time I had to use a fire extinguisher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was kind of crazy. He didn't know what to do.
Aiden with the $5 Australian.
Looking forward to the tool crate. We're going to see.
Thanks, Aiden. You're the man. Yes, Chandler, we saw you say that the first time. Tools don't make the tech, and we're fully aware of that. The technician makes the tech.
Yep.
I'm glad you had a necessity to tell us twice.
Mm-hmm. So anyways, back to that one. There's a whole bunch of something shiny going on, and people have been bringing up the comments a whole lot about the Snap-on tool trucks and how much they offer those incentives to try to get you to purchase more and purchase more tools. Now you guys got to take into effect that you also have to worry about your truck accounts. You guys can't be going into big debt, and that's just one of their tactics that they're able to do to get you guys to, you know, kind of reel in to buy more stuff. You guys got to look at the long haul. If you guys are just seeing the shiny stuff right in front of you, they're going to get you every time. They're going to get you for this stuff. And if you can't make the payments already, and you're just like, you know, screw it, I want it, that's what I want, and they have zero interest on the tool trucks, and then before you know it, you got a $1,000 bill on that tool truck. And now your tool guy is coming around saying, hey, pay your bills, man, or else I'm going to be taking your tools, taking your toolbox. You don't want to be in that kind of position. Not at all.
Live for Boost donated 99 cents through Super Chat.
Live in the boost, baby. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
And for whatever reason, they're wanting you to look at me. Apparently you have something on the side of your face. I don't know.
No? Yoda Doug. Thanks, man.
Yoda coming in with the $3.21.
I appreciate it, guys. It's pretty awesome.
Look at you guys paying your offerings.
Praising the offering.
Praise Yoda.
All right. So,
JRC, you will get those freaking beers drank eventually.
that was a little bit of a rough morning for you that next morning.
No, it was not.
It was too.
It was not.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Pretty sure I came in to work with you at the same exact time.
Oh, I know you did.
And kicked ass all day.
Oh, I know you that. What kind of toolbox you got? Well, here at home, I've got a Milwaukee 46-inch toolbox, but at work, I've got a slightly large Snap-on toolbox. What? You must drive a Subaru. Boy, he's a little bit of butthurt, isn't he?
Apparently.
I guess so. Whatever. But
Bam.
So next on to the list, we want to talk about some of the scan tools. I know you guys have brought up confessional. You guys are crazy.
He's the priest.
No,
you're the one at the pulpit, man. Not me.
Nope. So on Snap-on, normally what I have paid for my truck account, I usually pay $100 a week is what I pay on my truck account. If what I have on my truck account, if I can't pay that off in 3 weeks, then usually it's too much for me. The bigger stuff that I've had to purchase, like I had to purchase the Tech Angle 1/2-inch wrench, that was probably the most expensive single tool that I've had to personally purchase on the Snap-on truck before.
Yeah.
That one was like $670. I put like $300 down on it, and I traded in my other torque wrench. They gave me $150 for it, so it ended up, you know, I owed like $200 after that. So I don't like to have a bill on the Snap-on truck. I know it's no interest, but I don't like having that without being able to pay it off within 2 or 3 weeks. Just, you know, that's my comfort factor on that one. So just keep that one in mind, guys. Don't let the shiny syndrome thing draw you guys in and get you guys over in debt with the tool truck. I know they give you all kinds of leeway on debt and being able to get all kinds of credit for you, but yeah, don't fall into that one, especially when it comes to scan tools. If you guys are working at a dealership, you're one of like 9 or 10 guys at the shop, you probably don't need to be buying a Verus or a Verus Pro or anything like that to be able to get through your day-to-day stuff at the shop. The shop probably should be at least purchasing a nice scan tool that's able to do some of the scoping functions, nicer programming features, if they want that in their shop. Now, if you're working at a dealership, you're obviously going to have the nicer scan tool to be able to do your programming of vehicles, but if they want to do off-brand things, I personally think that the shop should be paying for those nicer scan tools. I know that's not the same all the way around, but I personally think that's what they should be doing. So the difference between at-home scan tools and at-work scan tools. I think that at work, that if you are not the shop owner, I don't think that you should need to purchase a scan tool that's over a couple of $100. If you want that nice scanner that's able to clear codes, do something quickly out on the lot, do some little diagnosis without having to get out the factory one, let it boot up, I think that's all fine and dandy. But once you're to get to the point where you're trying to do major diagnostics on cars, I think that the shop probably should be the ones purchasing it for you if you're doing a lot of the diag work like that. So I don't know, what do you guys think when it comes to that one? Solus for foreign cars and Tech 2. Yeah, we have a Tech 2 at our shop as well. That's nice to have for the GM ones. That's really nice. Bumper to Bumper, what's up, man?
Old car guys in here too.
Yep. Martinez. I was just simply saying I can't wrap my head around that. I don't know what he said before.
What are you talking about? Who?
Straight six, man.
Let's see. He said, I think he said something about not paying 50. Yeah, can't imagine paying $5,200 a year for tools.
Oh yeah, I mean I see that, especially out of guys who aren't in the industry. In our industry, at least here in the U.S., the technicians are required to pay for their own tools, and that's, you know, not generally implied that they have to purchase all of their own scan tools, but they have to have all of their own hand tools, their own toolbox to be able to come in and work a job. In other countries, it's not always specified as that. I know over in Europe, most jobs offer those tools for the technicians, but here in the U.S., that's few and far between. The general gist of it is that you have to have your own set of tools.
So, catching up on chat. Live for Boost asked if I drive a Subaru. No, I don't drive a Subaru because I vape. Are we brothers from another mother's? Yes.
No.
And then Dick Skinner says $1,000 for us to wear bikinis.
No.
You don't want to see that.
No.
Trust me.
You do not want to see that one, guys. Yeah, that's not pretty. Thanks for stopping in, Toolbox. Appreciate it, man.
See you, man. Thanks. Yes, I am vaping straight NOS, so that's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, it's nothing fun. It's just menthol.
That's what I guess. I presume you guys are in the business enough where you already built up your toolbox. So, straight six fan, also you have to think of the cost of some of the tools that you have, and then going on into your career, the kind of jobs that you're doing. When you first start off in the industry, you're going to be doing oil changes, tire rotations, suspension, brake work, tires, just little things like that. And the tools that you need to have for starting out in the industry are fairly nominal. You don't really have to have a whole lot of tools, and especially not really high-end nice tools. Some of your impacts that you want to have a nicer version or a nicer brand of, because you're ripping on those things day to day, and you find out which tools those are. As you're going through, you're finding out, oh, you know, if I bought this from Harbor Freight, I break it every 2 days. You probably want to get a better version of that. It's just your preference, and especially here where we live, it takes like 20 minutes to go over to the next town and be able to even get to the closest tool store, and even then it's not worth it. So you got to keep that into effect. Now, as the farther that you move on to in your career is the more kind of diagnostic, the specialty equipment that you're going to be doing. And then you got to think of the cost of all those. You have like all of your compression gauges, your fuel testers, specialty wrenches, the coolant filling thing. I'm just blurting off some of the specialty tools that I have owned and I have to purchase. Each one of these things are anywhere from $150 to say $300. Mm-hmm. So each one of those things that you're purchasing, it starts adding up. So it's actually pretty normal around here.
The Random Carson. I'm 15. I want to be a mechanic. I know the basics like replacing the brakes, oil changes, and tire changes, and I've changed the drive shaft of an F-150.
So like I was saying to Strike 6 fan, when you start off and in the industry, you're going to be doing smaller jobs like that. The biggest bit of advice that I can give you is to don't overwork yourself, don't overspend yourself when you get some shiny in tools, and to make sure that you have somebody that you can follow, some kind of a mentor in the field or in the job that you're in, to be able to follow around, ask questions, ask advice of. Having a more experienced technician in, you're in the ear of that person to be able to bounce things back and forth on to help you learn better is something that is really important for a newer technician. The dealerships that start these newer technicians off, they're sending them to school and they think that they're learning everything that they need to. And while they're at school, they're putting them on an oil change rack. The oil change rack is not going to teach you diagnostics. It's not going to teach you to listen for certain noises, listen for suspension, give you the feeling of the car. Going in test drives and going and helping with diagnostics with the older technicians, that is going to get you the most amount of experience in a job. So that's one of the biggest things, I think, is to find somebody in the industry, in the job where you work, to be able to learn off of, to pass down some of their traits.
And I completely agree with that, because coming from my background, that's exactly where I'm at. I'm actually getting ready to graduate from school, and with the help of Kyle here, I've learned the basics, and I've learned the knowledge that I need to know from school, but I've also learned the real world side of it from Kyle himself. Being able to work on diagnosing and listening for certain things, teaching you those little, I won't call them shortcuts, but they're just, ways to make things work a lot quicker or do a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, if you can do that and find somebody that will take you under their wing and kind of show you the ropes, it definitely does help. It does help.
It does help, yes.
And then on top of that, there was another comment that was in the chat about wanting to be a mechanic and buying cheap tools from Harbor Freight. And if you want my opinion on that, I mean, you can go over to my channel and you can look at my videos I'm doing, because I'm doing an Intro to Auto series, which I kind of skipped this week, and I apologize for that. But I did one over tools for a beginner mechanic and what you would need and what you can expect to look for. And if you've got the money to buy the best and greatest tools out there, by all means do so. But if you want to go to Harbor Freight because they're cheaper, by all means you can do that too. I mean, it's like someone said, and granted, I assume this was a troll comment, but it kind of does ring true. Tools don't make the technician; a technician makes the technician. So it doesn't matter whether you got brand new fancy Snap-on tools, or if you're going to Harbor Freight and picking up everything Pittsburgh, or getting stuff from yard sales. It doesn't matter, as long as you know how to use it and use it properly. That's the main thing that you need to be concerned about.
Justin Dow asks, why buy a toolbox over tools? Your thoughts on that? So my personal thought on that, just in the industry that we are in, working as dealership technicians, one of the biggest things, and leading back to Straight 6 fans' questions and comments on this one, the biggest thing that you're going to have expenditure-wise in your career is going to be your toolbox. Mm-hmm. Yes, we kind of have an understanding that you're going to probably be paying $50 a week to a tool truck, or going out and buying those tools for quite a few years into at least the first 5 years of your career. Depending on what kind of tools, where you're buying them from, it's going to happen. So purchasing your toolbox is going to be one of your largest expenditures. One of those things where, me personally, I would like to get one of those big expenses out of the way early. I'd like to, kind of like purchasing a house. I'd like to put more money into it, pay off more bills starting off, and suffer earlier on, so that later on in my career I can just kind of cruise on out, not have any big expenses, big payments that I have to worry about. That's just my personal opinion on it, why I would, spend more money on the toolbox starting off, just so I could have that done out of the way. I have that, it's paid for, and I'm done, and I've got plenty of room for later on in my career to fill up that toolbox with the things that I want and or need. What do you think about that?
My opinion on that is it depends on what your circumstances are. If you're going to school, for example, in my certain circumstance, when I went through school, Snap-on gives you a discount, a very hefty discount on tools, toolboxes, anything that you pretty much need. If you have the opportunity to pick up a toolbox through your school, through Snap-on or Matco or Mac or whoever it might be, that would be a prime time to get one. Now, you can get one that just suits your needs, or you can get one that you can grow into. I got one of the biggest ones I could possibly get through Snap-on because it was going to pay out more in the long run, which it did, because I was able to, because the school Snap-on policy was that once you paid for your toolbox, then you got a certificate to trade it in for a bigger toolbox, but you get it for full price at that point. So if you have the opportunity to get things at a discount through your school or through training or whatever it is, that's definitely the place to go and get that. But if you're not going through any school and you got to pay full price for everything, you know, don't expect to have to go out and get the biggest and best and greatest. Get something that is going to work for your situation. Get something that's either going to be mobile to where you can push it around, where you have all your tools with you, or just get go to Harbor Freight and pick up a U.S. General box or something like that. Something that's not going to break the bank. Because later on down the road, you can always sell it and get something better.
Mm-hmm. My first toolbox was a Craftsman toolbox.
So
we started off with that. I don't own a Snap-on toolbox for here at home because it's not a necessity. It's not something where I'm beating on it every day. That's why I've got a Milwaukee toolbox here at home. They asked, what do you look for when getting ready to buy a box? Depth, height, width? I personally look at, it's the thing that I have to look at every single day of my life. Literally, it's the thing that I see the most of, probably more often than my wife and family, which is kind of sad, but it happens. So I look at the color of it, the function of it. I like having my Echo locks, the drawers, the feeling of it. I like the Epic series over the Master series in Snap-on. It's kind of like that they have on Matco, that style of locking, latching handle. I prefer to have that. I think it'd be cool if they came out with some dampening drawers for them.
Yes, that would be cool.
That would be neat. But I'd like to see some of those. But that's what I look into. The depth of the drawers for what I have right now. It's the bigger toolboxes don't give you. I have the biggest one that they have offering wise, depth wise, so they can't really get any deeper than it already is. So fitting some of my blow molded cases, you have to think of what you want to fit into what drawers. So something else you have to think about ahead of time, how much stuff you're wanting to get in the future. You got to be able to think way far ahead.
Yeah. And if color or looks don't matter to you, then you want to go into options. You want to look, does it have a power drawer? Does it have plug-in outlets on top of the toolbox for you to charge your cordless tools and stuff like that? Because you don't want to have to run extension cords or anything like that. Keep things out in plain sight. So if looks don't matter to you, then functionality would be your next step.
So at this point in the chat, I want to thank everybody for being in here, and we were going to do a giveaway. So right now we have, was it 45 viewers, 48 viewers in chat?
Somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there, and we're going to do a giveaway. So what are we going to give away? Thanks to Eric, who sent me all of these things. I'm going to give some of them away. We've got a Snap-on playing card deck right here, and then we also have a, if I can get it back open here, a Snap-on opener, a bottle opener, cap opener. Which is
sure you want to give away the other one? That one matches the knife set.
We didn't have one of these.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. We used it last weekend when you got drunk.
No, we used that. No. Yeah, we used that one.
No. No. So we're going to be giving those away. Captain Ron is going to be running this here. What is the thing that we're going to have to put in?
Let's see. We'll put in...
Pick me.
Sure.
So in the chat, not yet. we're going to be starting for the giveaway. You are going to be putting in exclamation point pick me, Pickme. Has it started?
It is now.
It is live. Type in
exclamation
point pick me.
Oh wait, hang on. Nope, I'm stopping it.
Why?
Because I forgot to reset it. There we go. Okay, if you guys put your stuff in before, put it in again, because I had to go through and reset it because it wasn't cleared from last time. So make sure you guys put it in at least twice.
Just to make sure you got it in there.
JRC can't win.
Exclamation point pick me.
And you guys got a full 5 minutes to get it in there, so it'll be a minute.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I apologize to last week's winner, Andrew, that I have not yet sent out your prize from last week. Come to find out that shipping that out is going to cost more than the actual box is worth. So I am either going to throw something else in your way to be able to get that to you, or purchase you another one and just send it from Amazon, because I think it's going to be cheaper than putting that box into the mail for what that is actually worth. So don't worry, I will get that out to you this week.
And guys, just make sure you're putting in pick me as one word with no spaces. So just want to make sure everybody gets
lowercase exclamation point Pickme.
I really don't think it matters. I think it
pick me, pick me, pick me. Don't put a space in between it, guys, for you guys who are putting spaces in between the two words.
Unless you're just, you know, messing around and whatever.
Yeah. Yep, we've got the Snap-on bottle opener and the Snap-on playing card set.
410 says, hashtag pick me, hashtag pay it forward to the next guy.
Mm-hmm. So the next thing that we're going to be talking about on stream is what, for you guys who work in shops, whether you work in a dealership or whether you work in an independent shop, what is your guys' policy on butt-scussing cars? Those guys or those gals who come in and their car smells like a radiation dump, or somebody took a dump in the passenger seat, and it's gotten, I saw that one, it's gotten that bad to that point where you can't come within 10 feet of the car for, you know, fear of throwing up your lunch all over it. We had a couple of those this last week, actually, and it got to the point where if it's bad enough where we smell the car, the inside of the car from the outside with everything closed up from 10 feet away, we will actually turn a customer away. Normally, in a lot of bigger shops, they tell the service writers that they have to get the customers in. Our dealership is not that, you know, heavily into it, so our service writers are really cool guys. Our service manager is awesome, and he takes us into account as well. So when he gets those cars that come in and they're just absolutely nasty and the people are disgusting, he wouldn't want to sit in the, if he can't stand to sit in the vehicle to get all the information, to be able to sit with the customer to talk about what's going on with that, then he's not going to make us do it. So he tells the customer, if you want your car to be looked at and come back, then you are going to have your car cleaned out, detailed, have this taken care of.
And unfortunately, we've had 2 of those in like the last...
We had 2 of them this last week. We had one the prior to the week before where the customer got out of the car and they had bed bugs crawling around in the car. So at that point you just start, you know, you get all heebie-jeebies and itchies just thinking about that one. There's some nasty stuff. And to boot this week, everywhere, at least around here, everyone's been having the flu and there's nasty germs and stuff.
Yep.
So one of my personal practices that if I'm not forced to but told to, you know, work on a car that's kind of sketchy or questionable, we make sure to take the plastic seat bags and we double bag the seats. There's a steering wheel wrap. I'll walk up there with a set of gloves on just to make sure to get the car around for that. You know, it might look a little bit odd to the customer, like, why are you bagging up my car? I mean, you don't really want to tell them because you're a nasty ass, but, you know, yeah, it's some nasty stuff that we have to work with.
If they can't realize it, then they got bigger problems.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty disgusting. And then right at our parts counter where we go up to, so as soon as we get out of these nasty cars, before I start working with everything else, we've got hand sanitizer there. So if we don't have the gloves on, re-sanitize my hands. And then after we bring the car back around after it's done in service, he's got hand sanitizer up at the service desk because people touch all that stuff all day long too. So we're at least able to keep ourselves somewhat clean. You gotta think in our industry how much stuff that we actually touch of other people.
Oh yeah.
Like it's almost to the point where, you know, it's like being in the medical field, how much of everything else
you've heard my horror stories of when I used to work cable.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
Not only going into people's cars, but going into their actual homes. I did that for 10 years, and man, I could sit here for hours and tell you stories of stuff that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
So all right, ready for winner?
We're giving away the bottle opener and the Snap-on set. It is done, and the winner...
It's all in one?
Yeah, all in one.
Oh,
it's all in one.
All right.
The winner for the 2 items is going to be...
Ryan Boris.
Ryan Boris, you are the winner. Make sure that you get a hold of me either on Instagram Messenger. You can get a hold of me there, or you can email me over at therustbeltmechanic@gmail.com, and I will be able to get those out to you this week. So congratulations on winning that giveaway.
Yep. Congrats, sir.
Getting that one out to you. So, Captain Rome, when you see those nasty vehicles, what's your... If you were in our shop manager's position, how would you talk to a customer about that vehicle?
How would I talk to them?
Yes.
To keep their business?
Well, that's the idea of being in business, is to keep business.
Yeah, I know. Ryan says you have his address, by the way. Apparently he's won something before.
I probably have.
Or it's in a TOOLHEADZ crate.
Or just send it again so I don't have to go back and search through messages, or if it was in another name, I'm sorry. I apologize. I talk to like 300 people a week. So I try to get to like every question that people can't come and ask me on other social media sources. So I'm sorry. It's kind of hard for me to get back to and remember all the messages that I've sent people before. I know you guys are awesome, and a lot of you guys here in the chat right now are my OGs, and you're awesome, especially you, man. You've been here for a long time, but my memory ain't what it was.
Are you saying you're getting old?
I'm getting old, man.
What's up, Brad? But no, to go back to the question, I've dealt with people long enough in a customer service field, being in cable, that sometimes you just kind of have to lay it on the line for people. I mean, unfortunately, there's some people that sometimes you can be polite and say, look, your vehicle's not up to the standards of being worked on, and you're going to have that corrected before we can do anything to it. And then there's some people who are just so oblivious to it, be like, look, I'm sorry, your car is dirty, it is unsanitary, and we are not going to put our employees in jeopardy of any problems, so you're going to have to...
Now, what if they get super defensive at that point and come at you, say, you know what, you guys are horrible business, and they go to the Better Business Bureau over that decision?
How are they going to go? How are they going to go to the Better Business Bureau because of that?
They have that social media sources that they start bashing you on. I know, it's one of the hardest
It's one of those things you got to pick your battles. I mean, you're not going to be able to please everybody, and people are going to be all bitchy. So,
social media is the killer, man.
Yeah, it is.
How bad do you have that to deal with that old car? I know, Jason, you have a whole lot of those to deal with. He's got his own small dealership up in Canada. So, everybody thinks you're out to get them. You're that evil car dealer, even though, things happen.
Yeah.
Cars are used. You purchase them used. Yes, they might have some warranty, but, social media, it's good in the way that it's able to get ideas, get people that sense of community in what you guys like and enjoy and like to talk about. But at the same time, for people who are disgruntled, especially for the wrong reasons, it gives them an outlet to lash out on anybody and everybody that they, are able to get a hold of. They can
trolls be trolls.
Oh, they'll troll all day long, and that's just that could be in any field, really. I see that all the time in the dealership here in YouTube. That you don't know how many messages that I get telling me that I'm a dumbass and I don't know anything. I might as well just change oil for the rest of my life because that's all I know how to do. You suck. What are you going to do? There's going to be those people anywhere and everywhere. So you try not to let it get too bad to you, but at the same time, you kind of want to do some kind of damage control and try to reason with those people at the same time. If there was a misunderstanding on their part, then it's kind of hard for that one.
So a question from Terry says, "Hey fellas, 2 questions. Do you guys like cobalt tools? And if so, what do you feel about Lowe's removing most of cobalt for Craftsman?"
So where we specifically live, Terry, our Lowe's that we have closest to us is like 15 miles away. There are 3 other tool sources, 2 or 3 other tool sources between here and there. So I have personally only owned very, very few cobalt tools. We've got, our local Snapon stuff. We had a Sears here, and then we also have a Home Depot, which I really like going to Home Depot for the Milwaukee tools, for the gear wrench stuff that they carry.
Mm-hmm.
Last week I did a review on the Milwaukee pliers there on live stream. I really like their stuff. I know that Lowe's was one of the big people to pick up Craftsman to be able to resell, since Sears is kind of going into the turlet. And I think that's cool, and I think that they're kind of smart in doing that, because Craftsman brand is its own name and own sense. They could rebrand and put Cobalt Tools and stick a Craftsman name on them, I guess, if they wanted to, and they would probably sell more. It's just about the name and about the branding, I guess, to that extent.
Don't worry about what I'm doing.
I'm just reading what people are saying.
Okay, you keep reading then.
Should have had any store within 15 miles of my house. Yeah, it's hard. Around here, we used to have a Sears like 3 or 4 miles away, but it went out of business. Totally gone, done, left. So now we've got our tool trucks that come by locally, right, which at our shop in specific is only the Snap-on truck. Our Mac guy that had come once or twice in the last couple of years totally refused to come back. And so we have a Matco guy that decided to come back this last year, and that was about it. So we got Snap-on and Matco, and then if we wanted to drive 15 miles or so away, then we would have our Lowe's, and we would also have our Harbor Freight. But it is quite a bit of a drive. Yeah, the Craftsman tools, they used to be a staple for at least home people. Tapping one. Not, sorry. What are you doing?
That didn't work like I wanted it to.
It's pushing buttons. It's killing me, man.
I was going to do a commercial break.
We don't need a commercial break. We're about done. Yep. So with that one, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. We are just over. Wait, what was that? $4.10. You just donated $20.
20 bones.
What? Man, you're awesome. This is what I like about this.
He passed around the offering plate and it finally got to him.
Oh, the offering plate finally got back to $4.10. Yep. That's awesome. Hey man, I appreciate it, buddy. See, that's what I really.
I am reading the teleprompter.
That's what I really love about our community, our tool community, is everybody helps everybody out, and that's why also on my Nifty Tools of the Week that I'll be definitely shouting out smaller channels, because I don't want to be the one sitting on the top of the mountain or the top of the pulpit, I guess to say. I like going into other guys' live streams and other guys' live channels also. Some of the other guys that I follow throughout the week, JC Customs, he has a really good live stream. He's like the king of live stream. He does all the time. He does just live streams pretty much. I was able to go into Old Car Auto Guys and Sticks Fans live stream this last week. They go live on Thursdays. I really like the community, and like everybody in here is able to be talking, chatting back and forth, throwing ideas out about shops, automotive industries, tools. I really enjoy that stuff. You know, the videos, they are fun to see and they're fun to make, but like I said, I enjoy the live stream and the live chat because of the community and everybody else in here. So, Jason, did you catch up to Six Fan? Did you catch up to his subscriber count yet? I know that was one of the things that you were really trying to get to. And he was at like, what, 880 something? Awesome community. We always help each other out. Yes, we do, 410. And I really love it. We need to get more people involved. And I know you guys need to put me back up to blowing him away.
Warren also says he appreciates the opportunity to be able to be a part of the community like this.
It is awesome. Warren, he's all out, lonely on his island.
That's what happens when you're on a secluded island.
He's so lonely. All the lights hooked up on the new box? Nope. I did not get a chance to do that. This last week was insanely crazy. I need to order the part for that, and I need to order the lights that I was really wanting to get to. One of those other things there, I need to put it on my checklist, so I just make sure that I get it done. Hell, my poor dog, she's been growing like crazy amounts. So
wait, how long's it been since she's been on the stream?
It's been a while. Our pup, she was, you know, we got her, she was like 8 or 9 pounds, and now she's got to the point where she's probably like 45 pounds, and we've had to upgrade her crate like 2 or 3 times now, and we got a 36-inch crate for her this last time, and she's been in that for like a month, and now she's gotten this big now. She's not so puppish anymore, and so I've been meaning to order her a new crate for like a week and a half now. What's up, baby? This is Charlotte. Puppo. So I felt horrible that I hadn't ordered her a new crate, and I finally started making more lists this week, so I need to check those things off when I finally got time to. Dealing with this stuff, dealing with the TOOLHEADZ crate, trying to make sure we get everything ordered. Some things kind of fell by the wayside.
You're so heavy, Charlotte.
We try to make our channels a little bit on the learning side.
She's right here. She's on stream.
That's for the crates. Some grippy mats for the crates. Mr. Wood.
Go back in.
Yeah, we might need to do that one. You messaged me about that one. We're always looking for cool things to be able to put into our crates. Like I said, with our TOOLHEADZ crate service, it's going to be more for the community. It's going to be for you guys. So anything that you guys have for ideas for putting into that crate, then it's something that we would like for you to message us about and talk to us about. Having more ideas from you guys and what you guys want and like to see, this is going to be something for you guys. So make sure to get us those ideas for that as well. Any updates about the crate boxes? Junk from work, they're coming to Canada, man. Go to the website. You can order them. They come to you guys, man. Yeah, they are available to go to Canada and Australia if you were to live there. We just got our first Australian order, by the way, from Mr. Aiden. Appreciate it, buddy. 1 box going to Aussie land.
And so far, 1 going to the border of Canada.
To the border of Canada, yeah. Yeah, there are a couple of good channels in here. Captain Ron's got a channel.
Yep.
410 Autotech's got a channel. JRC54, Big Boy channel. We've got, who else was in here? Junk from Work. He's got a really good channel.
Mm-hmm.
I liked his from this last week, especially going into
Justin Dow.
Justin Dow. He's another Big Boy channel on here.
Yeah.
They're all in here. Straight Six Fan. His channel's on here. We're going to go back up through here and see the channels. Brad's Workbench. He's got a channel on here. America Bumper to Bumper. He's got a channel.
Yeah, we'll holler out everybody. I mean, there's this guy.
Yeah, I said JRC.
Yeah,
that big boy.
He's okay.
Uh-huh.
Joe's
Auto and Electric.
Go up for a little while.
Old Car Auto Guy. Of course, he's got his big boy shout-outs this week. That's probably about it.
That's as far as I can go.
So, yeah, everybody is on here, you know, that's got all these channels that you guys are awesome, and you need to keep on putting content out because I like what you're doing. Everybody in this community is doing a good thing. So, as I have recommended to everyone, make sure that you try to stay as on a normal schedule as possible. Don't drop out for 3 weeks at a time and expect to get back into the whole gist of things. People that were subscribed and paying attention to you, they don't keep up as well if you're not quite as regular. Keep regular with that. Keep regular with your content. I know some people get some shiny and they like to mix it up every once in a while, and I do the same too. Where I just, you know, oh, I'm doing this day. Let's try to get another video on that subject. But I like to keep it to the subject matter that I am putting information out about in tools, automotive, technician, that style industry. Make sure you stick with what you've made the channel for. If you guys are having channels that do some other things, woodworking and such, you know, do it for what you do it for. You don't have to do it to copy somebody else's channel or to ride the wave of someone else. Do what you do and be the best at
it. And don't be afraid to start a channel. Don't be afraid of what people say about you, because you're going to have those people come in and say, oh, you're stupid, oh, you're dumb, blah, 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 blah. You just got to ignore it, say thanks, and keep on trucking.
Jared Gordon asks, does anyone have any editing tips for newbies? So my recommendation on that one is a lot of the editing software is going to have the general same structures, the same framework. Yep. So if you haven't really gotten into editing, don't pay a lot of money for editing software right up front. What was the first software that we used? HitFilm Pro, or HitFilm was the first one that I used. Free software on the PC to be able to use. If you're using PC software, that's who I recommended, or I found as a recommendation to go to was HitFilm. Then if you're using Apple products, like on my wife's iPad, I like using LumaFusion. It's not free, but it's like $15 one-time purchase on that one. That's also a really good one. It comes with some free music for that as well. Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of them out there for.
But then we upgraded to Adobe Premiere. So
Premiere Pro is the big one, but that's one of those kind of programs that once you've been doing it for a while and you kind of got used to it, then you can start stepping up to some more programs, some more editing, some more different styles of background to be able to put in, fading here and there. Transitions.
I'll tell you a trick with Premiere Pro, because Bumper to Bumper just said it isn't the cheapest, but it's good. If you know somebody in college, have them help you out, because you can get Premiere Pro at a student discount, and it was like what, $25, $30
a month,
something like that. It wasn't anywhere close to what it actually costs. You can actually get the entire...
Yes, Fillmore is another good entry.
You can actually get the entire Adobe suite, which is Photoshop, Premiere, and all the other stuff that comes along with it, with a college student account, and it actually makes it a lot cheaper.
George says, get ready to put your fist through the computer screen. It gets frustrating, especially... You also have to take into account what kind of software or what kind of hardware that you have. If you don't have a really good computer, Rock Woody, thanks for the subscription, man.
Thank you.
If you don't have a very capable computer with a bunch of RAM, good graphics card, then don't expect to run these nicer programs like Premiere Pro.
Or if you do, they're going to run like dog shit.
And they're not going to work, they're not going to render, they're not going to put any graphics through. Some of my videos that you see, like the links and everything that I put up, there's a little entry thing that comes in and sprinkles onto the screen. Those little things, it's the sprinkles. that's where those programs, they take a lot of processing power to do that. And then even after that, once you get everything all cut into place of where you want it, all the background music put in, then your software has to stitch everything together. That's the part that takes the most amount of time. If you don't have a PC that's got a lot of processing power, that final rendering is going to take a long time.
And the last thing you want is to be in the middle of a render and the program locks up. Because at that point, you've got to either go back in and restart the render, or if you haven't saved it, you lost everything.
Yeah, and that is so depressing. Even if you're just like halfway through doing a video.
Yeah.
And I remember that happened to me one time before.
Yeah,
if you don't have, and make sure that you have autosave turned on. Like my program, it's set to autosave every minute. So every single minute that I do editing, autosave, autosave, autosave. Working all the time on doing that. And then our PC, we run a power spec built PC with I believe it's a G spec 1080 graphics card. Wind's going crazy, gonna blow our garage down, man. Yep. We've got dual hard drives for the computer, liquid cooled system. It's a very capable PC. So if you're spending the amount, like I think our PC, when I purchased it, it was right around $1,100 just for the tower unit itself. Having something that's like that, that's going to be able to run any of the editing software that I need to, and when it goes to time to render, on like the 20-minute video that I put up today, it took right around 16 to 17 minutes. 16 to 17 minutes for it. South Maine, what are you talking about, man? Put it towards a new Tundra. Eric O in the house, boys. Look at this. Thanks, man, for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Also, Eric, if you could please message me or get a hold of me, put the email address in there, at therustbeltmechanic@gmail.com. I've been trying to get a hold of you. I don't know if the email's been working, but if I could get a hold of you for talking about something for Toolheads Crate, I'd appreciate that one. Thank you. And thank you for being in here on the channel today.
Yep.
That's another channel, guys. If you guys haven't been able to go over and check out the Mr. Eric O with South Main Auto. He's got a really cool channel. He likes his Toyotas.
Yeah.
His Hondus. He's all about them Hondus.
Andrew V said, how many Snap-on stickers do you have on the outside of the case of the computer? Because each one adds a gigahertz of processing power.
1 extra gigahertz of processing speed. Yep. Yeah, you have to have a decent PC to be able to render all of your videos that you have. And then once you're talking about that, then you've got everybody asking, oh, what kind of film what kind of things are you using to record all of this? I started off using my iPhone and an old brick of a GoPro.
It was
GoPro 2. GoPro Model 2.
Yep.
I ended up using that to start off with. And that thing, boy, the audio on that was horrendous. If you guys see my first couple of videos that I put out, the audio was absolutely horrible. So that was one of the first things that I really wanted to step up on. Using an iPhone, that was better. That one got everything for it. And then I stepped up, and then that's where I got my nice camera.
Yep.
I ended up getting a Panasonic Lumix G7 is the current rig that I use. And then a Rode microphone, one of their midline with the cat tail over it.
And then you bought the gimbal for it.
I did just buy a gimbal for the camera. I didn't use it today on today's video because I'm still kind of getting used to it. And I had Vance, my son, with me this morning while I was filming. So it was kind of just hard to juggle back and forth between him asking, Daddy, we done yet? And no, shish, I'm filming. And now we back to the scan tool review.
I'm really surprised I didn't hear Vance more.
He was in there. If you guys listen, you can hear him in the background opening and closing one of the doors. We had one of our ProMaster conversion vans that he kind of just sat in there and watched his iPad while I did videos this morning. But it ended up working. Worked good for that one. So I didn't get to use my gimbal this morning. It's one of those cool new tools that was pretty awesome.
Yeah. And as for me, I mean, I started with a GoPro Hero 5.
One of the ones that I won on.
One of the ones you won. And then there was a day that I needed to do a video, and I actually just used my my Note 9, and it actually put out some pretty decent video. So I was like, well, I'm just going to use this. So I'm actually thinking about getting a gimbal at some point for my phone so that I can use it.
There you go. So I'm going to step back one because Eric's in the house, and I wanted to ask him the same question that we asked the other guys earlier. In your specific shop, I know that you guys don't do a whole lot of work when it comes to a customer work, but when you get the customer work in, that is those nasty cars. What is your guys' viewpoint on talking to those customers in telling them, you know, our technician, we really don't want to have to work on this because, yeah, it's nasty, it smells like poop, and there's bed bugs all over the thing. There's some nasty people out there. You want to keep your work and you want to keep your business there, but you don't want to piss them off at the same time. I was just kind of seeing where you guys stood on that one. I know we got a whole bunch of different viewpoints. Like that dirty nasty. Yep. Yeah, like filthy, dirty, nasty. Like we had a couple of this last week where we had to, it needed a wiper motor, but still the fact that we had to pull it around and the fact that we saw bed bugs on the inside of the vehicle. So we ended up telling them to clean it out, and they brought it back and it still smelled like butt, but all the trash was gone. So we ended up like triple bagging the seat, walk up there in like half a hazmat suit, covered
the view.
Yeah, put a steering wheel cover on it, had like triple gloved up, and kind of drove it around the building real fast.
Yeah.
That's all we had to do.
And then we had a chocolate explosion.
Yep, we had another guy come in, and he was just absolutely nasty, covered in bed bugs too, and we just ended up actually putting his outside. And we took the jack outside. He had a flat tire at that point. Jacked it up, took the wheel and tire off all outside, and
brought it to me and said, do this as quickly as you possibly can.
Mm-hmm. I need the car cleaned out first. 9 times out of 10, they leave and don't return. If we have the customer, so usually that's what we will tell customers also. Say, hey, we need this cleaned out in as nice of a manner as we possibly can. And then they bring it back, and their version of clean is not quite up to the mark of our version of clean, especially when you're
or anybody's version of clean,
or anybody else's. Especially when you're having to do a heater core or something like that. When you have to do a heater core, you're down in the guts, man. You're digging out the stuff that they never thought they'd have to see again.
This is someone's solution for your.
Yeah, just pinch the nose and go.
Yep, just get them out.
You try to be really nice about it, but then they come back and it's still just absolutely disgusting because they don't have a sense of smell or something along those lines, I guess.
Oh, wow, that really does hurt.
You're retarded. He's just special, guys. But
I'm the comedic relief here. I'm hoping.
He is. We really appreciate that, Captain Ron. But then when somebody brings their car back and then all of a sudden it's still not all kinds of cleaned out, then at that point we're like, all right, your version of clean isn't so great. So our specific dealership, we do have a detail department. And for a customer detail, it's going to be $225. Before we can work on this, we're going to have to run it through and get a detail done to it. Would you like to do that today? And at that point where it's going to cost them $225, then they start to book it.
Yep.
But that's also the point when we get nailed on social media for, oh, they're trying to rip me off for $225 extra. And yeah, they
don't want to say anything about how nasty the car is. They just want to bitch about.
Thanks, old car guy.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate you stopping in. You don't want upper lip if they are too nasty. Just put some good old 80/90 right up under there, so that's all you got. That's all I had.
Someone said take our foam earplugs and put them up your nose.
You can do that. My sense of smell was all kinds of messed up this last week. I had a good old Ram 5500 Had that one in the shop this last week, and amazingly, I was able to, I had to rebuild the entire front differential on this thing. And if you guys haven't worked on some big trucks before, they're kind of different. So when you're talking about, usually on your caliper bolts, you've got a 13 or a 15, maybe an 18 millimeter bolt holding these caliper brackets on.
21.
When you're talking about a Ram 5500, you're talking 32 millimeter bolts holding these caliper brackets on. They're like huge, man. So everything is generally pretty decently easy to work on, but it's just giant. So then these 5500 that is constantly on job sites, driven every single day in and out. If you guys don't know what gear oil smells like, times that, you know, you guys need to get some more experience, but times that by 2, and it was like the nastiest smell ever. Having to deal with that in the shop for the entire week, we're just going to say it wasn't as fun.
Yeah. Well said. Can't wait to start my first dealership job at Mazda. Ron, your videos for new techs have been super helpful. Keep them coming. I plan to do so. I had full intentions on doing one this week, and with kids that had the flu and everything else going on, time got away from me. I couldn't get one done. So next week, I will definitely have one going. Here in a couple weeks.
Thanks, Z Dolan. Thanks, Z. He said rub fruity or menthol chapstick around the nostrils.
There you go.
That works. That works.
But here next couple weeks, I'm going to be actually returning to school. So I'm going to be doing a video from my school, showing, basically doing like a tour of it, talking to maybe a couple of the teachers, you know, getting their input on it, and giving you guys a little bit more insider look of what school for a technician actually looks like. So be on the lookout for that. I got to figure out what I'm going to do for my next week's video still.
You got that one down.
Yeah, I just got to get my old list off my other phone. But if
Usually
anybody
I'll do it.
Yeah, but if anybody's got any options or want to see me do anything specific, please let me know.
Yep. So looking forward to this week for on the channel. We are going to be doing another nifty tools of rust belts of the week, obviously. And then also this week, I'm going to be doing a comparison review between the Snap-on version of the Power Probe meter with the digital screen to that one, and the Power Probe version 4. We're going to be doing a comparison review back and forth between those, positives, negatives, cost comparisons of that one. So that will be on the video list for this next week as well. Might throw another one in before the weekend and before next week's Sunday sermon, which will come at the same time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next Sunday.
JRC says he'll send me a junk car. I can do a starter build on it.
That's what you need. Do some starters.
Wait, what kind of car? What are we talking about here, Jim?
Do a video on different kinds of dealership techs. So you're talking about the differences in the kinds of technicians at the dealership, oil change mechanics, doing shop foreman, flat rate guys, the differences in what it is. I mean,
let's say we need to do a. I don't know.
Power Probe 4. Yeah. So I've been starting this week. I had my dealer. He got me a hold of the new Power Probe 4. And he also got me the new Snap-on Power Probe version with the screen to it as well. So I actually had one first thing in the week come out that I'm like, ooh, I could use this, like hands-on. Show this one on video. I had a
don't worry about it.
I had something with a ProMaster with a pump that had gone out. They have auxiliary coolant pumps that pump coolant all the way to the heater core in the rear because it's 19 miles of, you know, tubing to get the coolant pump back there. So we had an issue with that one. I was like, ooh, I can use this Power Probe. I want to power up the circuit, see what kind of amperage draw I have to it. And my Snap-on one, I went to hook it up, and it wouldn't work. Got that one out of the box, started shaking it, and it sounded like a maraca. I'm like, you know what? I don't think that tool's supposed to double as a maraca.
South Main says, if you need a Power Probe 4 to keep, I can send you one for free.
I'd be all right with that, man. I'm probably gonna buy the Snap-on one just to have that one also, but I I had a Power Probe back when it was version 2, and that one broke on me about 9 or 10 months ago, and I just hadn't gotten around to replacing it. I've been doing a whole bunch of other stuff, and I realize now once I get to this point that I'm like, crap, man, I really missed that tool. I really should get to replacing that. And I just kind of haven't gotten to it.
Z has clarified his request. He said, no, the go-getter, the cocky asshole, the noob, the flashy guy, and the this is bullshit guy. So,
okay, Eric.
So the flashy guy is this one. The noob is this one.
The noob.
We have a go-getter. Probably Bill.
Our parts guy. Yep. You generally do have that quite often. Even in our dealership, we've got a smaller dealership. We've only got 3 flat rate techs, 2 CAP students that are hourly techs, and that's all we have in our shop. And then there's 2, well, I guess we'll count it as 1.5 parts people.
Man, he's getting up there.
He's getting a lot better. He really is. Love to see a video about buying a used scan tool. Seems to be a field of mine subscription cost. End of life support, gray market imports. You know, I really could do that, Wes. Yeah, definitely. I've got a couple of different examples on doing that, especially when you're talking the end of life of support from the manufacturer, at least. Some of those scan tools, they go out of latency and they go out of support extra quick, it seems like sometimes. And then there's other ones that just hang around forever, like the original Solus. Like they push that software for a good like 9 or 10 years, man. It lasted quite a long time. And I think that's going to be the same for your more expensive models right now. Your Veris, those have been out for what, like 6 or 7 years now. And I think they're still pushing those big time. So I think there's going to be a price range in which the ones that cost more are the ones that are going to support more often. But the ones that are cost effective to the guys right now, I think those are the ones that are going to be cycled in and out of the industry a lot faster.
Actually, I asked if JRC argues with himself in the shop.
Since you're the only one there, Jim, I could see you getting in some arguments. Like, God, why'd you do that? Just get out of my face for like 5 minutes. Veris Pro is all done on support this year. Yes, it is. I heard about that, and I was like, man, they had like a 7-year run on that thing. The Zeus, I think, has got a good, at least 3 to 4 more years on that one. That one's been out for, I think, about 3 years now also. So I guess looking back into history, they're between a 7 and 9 year stretch on their scan tools, and then they start phasing them out. I know the Edge products between the Solus and Modus Edge, those are fairly new, so they'll be pretty in stream for a little bit of time at least.
So Armando says, "Hey man, what are those wrench organizers you have?"
The Toolbox widgets. Right now, we're actually been talking with the owner of Toolbox Widget. He's going to be coming out with a version 2 of his product. He had his products out at the mid-end of this last year, and unbeknownst to him, people absolutely loved them. They sold like hotcakes. He couldn't keep them in, and he ran out of them like super quick. He took his product to SEMA and ended up getting, I think, 2nd place in the up-and-coming SEMA Starter Award this year for tools and products. So he kicked it off and hit it big. So we've been talking to him the last couple of weeks, and he's going to be coming out with a version 2 and a couple of other really cool products here over probably in the next 3 months or so. So you need to keep an eye on that one. If you haven't, you can go over to his website. I believe it's over there at toolboxwidget.com, or just Google it and go over there. And he's got an email notification list where you can put your email in and get notified when they're going to be premiering the new products, which, like I said, should come here in the next couple of months.
Ashley said, what about a video of you teaching her something in the shop? Now that she's going to have more time, I'm down.
Heck yeah. Get some more shop time in for Mrs. Rustbelt. I think you guys will like that one.
And Mrs. Caparone.
There we go.
Get both of them in there.
Yeah, we're going to have them do some stuff. Think they could do a tire rotation on the old Duramax? I'm sorry. That'd be a little bit rough to start them off on, but it'd be kind of funny at the same time. I think each one of those tires weighs about 150 to 175 pounds each.
I mean, they might be able to pick them up together.
Yeah,
one
that's
on
true.
each side.
I'm out of here like a pregnant chick's belly button. Thanks, Eric. I appreciate it, man. I'll be in touch with you. That's awesome.
A voiceover of your Toolbox tour.
She could do the glow plugs on the Duramax. They've just been out, man. They'd be super easy. They don't need to be out anymore. No, we do. I do need to actually do the transfer case seal again. If you guys watched a while back, I did a transfer case seal on the Duramax, and I think when we did the lift kit, how we adjusted the drive shaft, it was adjusted too far forward, and the lift kit, how it spaces the carrier bearing of the rear drive shaft out, it doesn't have enough spacing to move it far enough back. So the drive shaft on big bumps actually kind of touches the seal in the transfer case and ate up the end of it again. So I've got to replace that again. So
what's up, Corey?
That'd be a good one for him. Corey Suttles, what's up, buddy? Good to see you guys in the house. Still got 61 peoples in here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you guys have fun on a Sunday, waiting to talk to us cool guys.
This is probably the longest any of them probably sat in church.
The Rustbelt Church. Let's get a sitter for the Munchkins and let's do it. How about that? That sounds like...
We need to really work on that green screen so we can put, like...
I'm down.
Something behind, like... Picture behind us of, like...
I'm down. We can do
stained
that.
glass or something.
Right? We do need to do that. So I've been talking about building another house. Building a house sometime
We're gonna have a
next
studio.
year. And I definitely would like to have, like, a studio.
A YouTube studio.
To, like, totally separated from everybody so I don't have to heat my garage every time we want to do something live stream wise. Be able to have our own studio set up to be able to do the filming, be able to do live streams, set up a green screen. I think that'd be something cool.
Yep. We could just paint a wall green.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Monday in Australia.
That's true. It is Mondays.
Andy says we can't leave.
Well, you can come over, Andy. It's not like we're going to move really far away. Yeah, you can still come over. You've got a plenty capable... You do drive a Chevy, so it'll at least make it there. You don't drive a Ford or anything.
We don't know if it'll make it back, but...
Yeah. All right. Well, we've been rolling at this thing for over an hour and a half now. I think that's about going to be able to do it for tonight. If you guys haven't done it already, make sure you go over to www.toolheadscrate.com. Get signed up for the Toolheads Crate. Cutoff for the first month subscription crate is going to be March the 9th. They ship out March the 15th. So if Dale is watching this and you remind me all the time to send out his crate, remember, it gets shipped out on the 15th. It's always been the 15th. It's going to go out on the 15th, I promise, on the 15th. So just an FYI, keep on that one.
Yep.
It's going to be awesome. We've been setting up stuff for the next couple of months also to help to get better, cooler stuff in there for you as well. The final designs are in for the shirts that we'll be having for that one. It's going to be something awesome. So, yeah, make sure you guys go and check that one out. Over the next week, we've got some cool stuff coming up. Make sure you turn on that bell notification. Steven, I said something earlier in the chat and you weren't in here. So when I went to go and ship it, the cost of shipping that box out is actually worth more than the box of what it is itself. So I'm going to hook you up with something. We got that one coming out. I will be sending that to you on, I think, Tuesday. I'll be able to ship you something out, either that or I'll get you something direct ship from Amazon to where it's free shipping, all in the same. He won the giveaway last week. And yeah, that one, and it costs more to ship it than what it's worth. Yeah, kind of sucks. But we'll get that one out as well. I'll get it to you, Steven. Don't worry about it. You don't need to pay nothing. You guys won the stuff. I'm going to keep it down on that one. That's about all I got. You got something there, Ronifer?
No, not really. Just basically just keep go over and take a look at my channel if you guys haven't done so. Captain Ron. I'm going to be putting out a video sometime this week, maybe 2 if I feel ambitious. I'm going to be doing another giveaway here sometime soon as well, so be on the lookout for that. And I don't know what he asked. What was it?
Corey.
Oh, that's why I was asking him to pan to the left.
Hmm?
To your left. He was asking you to pan to the left.
This? Oh.
Yeah. That's why he was asking.
I gotcha.
So, one last prayer.
Bow your heads with me now. Praise to the Turbskis. We give praise to the snap ring pliers. We give praise to the ball joint presses. Thank you, dear Tool Jesus, for giving us these tools.
Tool Jesus.
All right, on that note, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Yep.
And as always, you guys better stay awesome.
See you next time.
See ya.
Yeah.